Hi, it's Daniel, Melody, and Gabe from Joy FM, and we're continuing our discussion on forgiveness. We talked about this last time. We actually have Karen Peck with us on the phone right now, joining us to discuss forgiveness as well, because when you talk about being a Christian and a believer, I mean, this is central to our message. And Melody, I know so many people that you've run in contact with that it's not just about accepting the forgiveness, but it's also harboring unforgiveness in their own hearts.
I think the number one thing that I have people come to me and say is, I cannot forgive myself for something that happened so long ago. I mean, for some people it has been 50 years since this particular circumstance happened, and they literally still have not been able to let go and just accept the forgiveness of God in that situation.
Wow. Karen, have you run across anything like this in the years you've been traveling in your ministry on forgiveness or unforgiveness?
I really have. I mean, there have been many times when people will come up to us and say, the hardest thing in my life is forgiving myself for what I've done. I'm reminded in 1 John chapter 1, verse 9, that says, if we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. And I think that in order to forgive others, you have to forgive yourself. And sometimes, even when there's a situation that comes your way that maybe it wasn't our fault, but I think that we still have to, instead of saying, well, you did me wrong, I can't forgive you, I think the best thing to do is to step up and say, you know what, it doesn't matter who did it. We have to forgive because Jesus commanded us to forgive.
That is so true. There's a couple of quotes that sound repetitive. One is, you can't love until you've been loved, and then you can only love to the degree to which you have been loved. But then you can go and replace that with forgiveness. You can't forgive until you've been forgiven, and then you can't forgive unless you've been, and you pass that forward to that same degree, is what I'm trying to say.
I know several instances where there are some folks that I know that live kind of a life of bitterness and resentment, and literally has made them physically ill because they have not been able to forgive someone for something. But in most of those cases, I have realized that it goes all the way back to something in their life that they've never forgiven themselves for. So what Karen said was exactly right. In order to be able to forgive others, you have to forgive yourself.
And also there's freedom in forgiveness. I mean, once you release that bitterness and all of that, the anger, there is such freedom and such peace when forgiveness is involved. And the thing about it is, we have to look at this. Let's even take it farther and think about what Jesus did on the cross for us. And even when He was dying on the cross, He was praying to God. Here He was in pain and agony, and He was saying, Father, please forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing. And so if Jesus can forgive us, then we can forgive ourselves, and we can also forgive others.
Oh, so good. So good. We welcome your dialogue here, either on social media or with the video, or even if you want to call us or shoot us a text message. You can do that at 888-98-JOY-FM. How have you experienced and embraced the forgiveness of God? Maybe it's taken a journey. Maybe it's taken years in your life, but share your story with us. 888-98-JOY-FM.